Shabbat Shalom. All right, it's Shabbat. It's this beautiful day of rest that God gives to us and an opportunity to be together with family and friends and to be able to truly enjoy just some time for ourselves. So often we're going in 1,000 different directions that we forget to breathe and we forget to be present. So this is our opportunity to breathe and to truly be present. And in being present, I want to ask that if you have a cell phone, a pager, do people carry pagers anymore? But to go ahead and turn it into the off position. I'm going to challenge you to disconnect in order that we can all connect with one another. And also, we just want to say Shabbat Shalom to those who are streaming into our services. We welcome you. We're happy that you get to join us virtually as well. And so, with all of us being present, I want to invite us to kind of now focus in at this moment of Shabbat, at this time of celebrating Adam becoming Bar Mitzvah, and allowing ourselves to be focused in this moment. Cantor, will you lead us in an opening nigun?
So we join in this melody known as a nigun. This is a melody that has no specific words, so we can focus on how the music makes us feel as we warm up our mind, body, spirit, and voice. So please join in as we sing with a smile. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la.
So Shabbat is truly this wonderful gift that we all are able to embrace and join in together. But today what we're also doing is we're taking this moment, this opportunity to be able to engage in worship, in prayer together. And so for those of you who this might be your first time in a synagogue or for Shabbat services, so I'm going to go over here to Adam's friends. So hi guys, how are you? Hello, awesome. Yeah, I know, I saw the swaying over here, it was good, that's good. You know, music gets us moving. I know, I see everything up there, careful. I'm kidding, it's all good. So, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna acquaint you guys with what happens during the service for all of us so that we can all participate. Because this is about participation, this is not a performance. Adam is not performing for us, okay? I saw the scorecards back there, put them away. I'm kidding. They don't really have scorecards, you're good, okay. So, but I'm going to invite you to go ahead and take a prayer book. They're right in front of you. Guys, you know they're underneath your seats. So the prayer books are under your seats in the front row. And let me kind of show you, because if we have a prayer book, then we all get to participate. So, looking at the prayer books, my friends back here, what do you guys notice about these books? What's different about them? Great, 2 different languages. What else is different about this prayer book? This book, yeah, it's backward, all right? So the 2 different languages are obviously English And then the other language is Hebrew. Now, Hebrew we read from right to left, instead of English, which we read from left to right. So that's why the prayer book is going to open the opposite way. Now, of course, if you open the book to any page in the middle, just open it up randomly somewhere, you'll see the Hebrew. There's two different columns. You've got the columns of the Hebrew letters on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand column is the transliteration. So it might look like gibberish, but what it is it's taking the English letters and then having us be able to pronounce the Hebrew words with the English letters. So because we know not everybody knows how to read Hebrew. Now, the cool thing is, Adam's prayer book, if I may, sir, thank you very much. Adam's prayer book has Hebrew and English. However, he does not have the transliteration. So, go back over to his friends. So he only has, if it's in Hebrew, it is only in Hebrew. So he is reading straight from the Hebrew. Impressive, yes? There you go. Yeah, definitely. Now, Adam's prayer book is also different than ours in the sense that our prayer book, it's called Mishkan Tefillah, but there's a couple different versions. The version that you have in your hands is the Shabbat only version. There's another book that has the weekday services and the festivals, which means that his prayer book that Adam is using today includes all of the services. So it is a thicker prayer book. It's bigger. It contains everything, which means if you look in your prayer books, there are two sets of page numbers at the bottom of every page. There's the page numbers in black and the page numbers in blue. We are going to be following through with the page numbers in blue. So when we call out page numbers throughout the service, just look for the page numbers in blue, and then that corresponds to Adam's prayer book. So that way, we all can be on the same page, right? We also pray with reading along, singing along. If you don't know the words, Lai works very, very well. So feel free, join along in that singing, allow that music to move you as well. And we also pray with our bodies. There will be times where we'll invite the congregation to rise, or we'll bow in humble reverence before God. So our bodies are a part of this as well. And finally, we pray with what we wear. So we have the kippah, the yarmulke, that reminds us of God's presence all around us. And finally, the prayer shawl. We're commanded to wear fringes on the corners of our garments. All right? And these fringes are called tzitzit. Now, we're commanded that when we look upon the tzitzit, that we are to remember all of the commandments that are in the Torah. Now, there's not just 10 commandments, there are actually a total of 613 commandments. Now, we can't observe and fulfill all 613 commandments because many of those commandments included times when we did sacrifices when the temples stood in Jerusalem. Well, the last time that we did that was back in the year 70 of the Common Era. So it's been over almost 2,000 years since we've been doing any of those sacrifices. So instead, we ask, okay, how do we take these commandments, these mitzvot, and how do we make them relevant in our own lives today? How do we observe them? How do we learn about them? Because Judaism is constantly growing. Judaism is constantly exploring how to ensure that we are always current with where we are today and how we observe who we are and how we live our lives and do Jewish. Well, when a young woman becomes a bat mitzvah, a daughter of the commandments, then she receives her first talit. And so too, when a young man becomes a bar mitzvah, Adam is not having his bar mitzvah, all right? Bar means son of, and then mitzvah, commandments. So Adam is becoming a bar mitzvah, a young adult in the Jewish community. And when a young man becomes bar mitzvah, he receives his first talit. And it is my honor and pleasure to call forward Adam's grandfather, Howie, to come on up. And Adam, if you will join us here at the bima to receive your first talit.
No, I must tell you at the outset, I had a 45-minute speech planned. However, a certain member of the family kind of admonished me and say, can you cut it to about 30 seconds? Well, it'll come close to that. Come over here. It is such a delight and an honor to be here with you. And for you to grace our bema like your brother did, something like 13 years ago, I believe, right? And, huh? 8 years ago, that's right. Okay, anyway, we're involved with a big-time trifecta here. You started last night, your bar mitzvah is today, and you've got your birthday tomorrow. Well, that's really some back-to-back event. It is a pleasure and an honor to share this wonderful and wondrous day with you. We're also proud of you and all of the family that came all the way from Oregon down here to celebrate this marvelous weekend. Everything is positives, all pluses. And you have your uncle in Minnesota that got a great report from his medical problems. Boy, that is really a good finish. And anyway, I want to present this talit to you on behalf of your grandmother, Vava, and myself. May you wear this with pride, love, and honor. And may you carry this tradition in our religion to future generations from now and forth forward. We are, okay?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, eternal soul of the universe, who makes us holy through the mitzvot and commands us to wear fringes on the corners of our garment.
Okay, good.
We give thanks for all of our blessings as we turn to page 186, Modeh Moda Ani. Modeh Ani lefanecha, melech v'kayam, shehechazata b'nishmati v'chemla, v'chemla, rabba emunatecha, rabba emunatecha, moda ani lefanecha, melechai v'kayam, shehechazata b'nishmati v'chemla, v'chemla, rabba emunatecha, rabba emunatecha. I'd like to invite forward our Temple Beth Sholom students to come on up, bring their prayer books with. As we continue, and Stella, come on up as well. Adam, come join them too. We're going to turn to page 198 for our Nisim B'chol Yom, being able to chant these blessings of the miracles of each and every day. And so our minhag, our custom, is that we start off with the first two lines in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, and then we continue in the English. So you'll see the rhythm of it. Feel free to join in with our students as well, beginning on page 198.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Who has
given mind to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, made in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, was made free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, is Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Mitzvah, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
Amen. Yasher koach, everybody. Thank you so very much. As we turn now to page 224, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
גלמל דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חונו ויומי חונו וחיי כל בית ישראל בהגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך להעלם עולמי המיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויבהר ויתרומם ויינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה וימרו.
Amen. We rise now as we turn to page 226 for Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Please rise.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uberei hoshech, oseh shalom uberei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha, barachamim u'tuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechochma asita ma'a ha'aretz kinyanecha tit barach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'ore or she'asita ifa'arucha selah.
Or Chadash, Al Zion Ta'ir, 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 Benizkeh, Benizkeh Kulanu, Be'elam, Be'olam, Benizkeh, Benizkeh Kulanu, Be'elam, Le'olam, Or Chadash, Al Zion Ta'ir, Or Chadash, Al Zion Ta'ir.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMe'orot. Please join me on page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. In light blinded we saw. The inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached down for you. You down the centuries. Your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. Please be seated. We continue chanting together Ve'ahavta on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavecha hayom levavecha ve'shinatam levanecha ve'dibarta bam be'shivtecha bevetecha uvletecha vaterech u'shofbecha uvkumecha shartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinenecha utaftam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohem Adoni Adonai Elohem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lahem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohem. We continue on page 240 singing Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh, Torah tehilot osei felek, Torah tehilot osei felek. שיר החדשה שיבחו גאולים, ושמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ופדה נאומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני גאה ישראל. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, u'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדם מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר,
קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו.
אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohai Yichzion, ledor vador, Hallelujah.
לדור ודור נגיד גורלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Amen.
To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We join together at the bottom of page 250 as we join in singing Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat b'dorotam b'olam
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת בדורותם ובדורם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בדורותם ובדורם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת
הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בדורותם ובדורם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת בדורותם ובדורם.
We continue on page 252. Eloheinu, Velohei, Avotenu, Ve'imotenu, Retzei, B'milchatenu, Kadshenu, B'mitzvotecha, V'tein, Chelkenu, V'toratecha, Sab'enu, Mituvecha, V'samchenu, B'shuatecha, V'taher, Libenu, Le'ovdecha, Be'emet, V'hanchilenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Be'ahava, Uratzon, Shabat, Kochecha, Ve'anuhu, Va'yisrael, Mekadshe, Shemecha, Baruch, Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue on page 254. Retzei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, Ut Filatam Be'ahava, Tekabel, Ut Hi, L'Ratzon, Tamid, Avodat Yisrael, Amecha, El Karov Lechol Korav, Pene El Avadecha, Vechonenu, Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu, Betechezena Einenu, Beshuvcha Letzion, Barachamim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Hamahazir Shechinato Letzion.
Amen.
Please join me on page 257. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons. Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements. Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression. Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared. Modim anachnu lach. For all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others may not live in dignity and freedom. Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose. Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may not live but by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai. Hatov shimcha ucha na'eh le'odot.
As we continue together, page 258, join with us with Sim Shalom.
Shalom, Tova, Ubracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Ubracha. Sim Shalom,
Sim Shalom,
Tova, Ubracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Ubracha.
Hein v'chesed, hein v'chesed v'rachamim. Hein v'chesed, hein v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim.
Sim Shalom,
Sim Shalom,
Tova,
Uracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uracha. Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Amecha.
Sim Shalom,
Sim Shalom,
Tova,
Tova, Uracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uracha. Sim Shalom, Tova,
We continue in silent meditation.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
So we've reached that part of our service now called Seder Kriyat HaTorah. The service, the Seder, the order of our reading of Torah. Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. It's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And it's all contained within one scroll. Now earlier when we went up to the ark and we opened up the ark doors for a prayer that was called the Amidah, which by the way literally means stand, to stand, you saw that we have 5 Torah scrolls in our ark. And one of our Torah scrolls, which is our Czech Torah scroll, which is over 300 years old, is in the process of being restored. And in fact, our sofer, Rabbi Salazar, is coming tomorrow, and he'll be with us for the next couple of days, and he's helping us restore this Torah scroll. So that's why that's not in the ark right now. But all the Torah scrolls that you see, they're exactly the same in some ways, but at the same time, they're also very different and very unique. They're the same because they each contain the 5 books, those first 5 books of the Bible. Every single Torah scroll has the exact same number of letters, the exact same words, the exact same sentences, etc. There is nothing different about them when we go and we read them. What makes them unique, however, is where they come from. Who wrote them? The scribe, how they were taught. By the way, you can't go to school to learn how to be a sofer. You learn from another sofer who teaches them from another sofer, from another sofer, okay, you get the idea. So you don't go to school to learn how to do that, but you're taught how to write a Torah scroll. And when you're taught that, you're taught different customs and different ways of how the letters are written. But still, it's the same and it's unique because there's a story behind every Torah scroll. From where it came, the Torah scroll that is at the top of our ark, it's a Sephardic scroll. Comes from Iraq, from Aleppo, and with Aleppo, Syria. So actually, I learned that one recently. It's not from Iraq; it's from Aleppo, Syria. And that scroll, it's contained within this beautiful hard shell cover because if you think about the Middle East, it's dry, it's windy. You want to protect the Torah scroll. The other Torah scrolls are Ashkenazic, meaning that they come from a tradition of Eastern European Jews. And they too have their own story based on who wrote them, where they came from, how old they are. Our newest Torah scroll, which is the one that Adam will be reading from, that one, it's about 14 years old, and it's one that we as a congregation wrote together with the help of a scribe. Trust me, my handwriting, not so good. Scribes got it all down. But with each Torah scroll, when we read these words that come from the Bible, that come from those first 5 books, we're told a story. I mentioned earlier, there are 613 commandments in the Torah. But there's a whole history that's there as well, starting from the very beginning, from the story of creation. Then, of course, we're in the book of Exodus right now, so that story of leaving Egypt, where once we were slaves and now toward freedom. to then receiving of the commandments and all of the rules that go into living a Jewish life then of sacrifices, to then the instructions about how we move into the land of Israel, moving into that sacred gift that God has given to us. So we take an entire year and we read the entire Torah. Well, this week we are reading from Torah portion called Ki Tisa. And it's during this Torah portion that we're going to be learning more about the Israelites who are fresh out of Egypt and their challenge that they're going to be having with their own faith. Their challenge that they're going to have with their leader Moses, who hasn't been with them for 40 days, and they're getting a little bit nervous. What's really exciting about this Torah portion, by the way, is that the teacher of our Torah portion is Adam. Adam, as a bar mitzvah, you have been studying this Torah portion, Ki Tisa, two different ways. Today, Adam is going to be reading not only the maftir, which is the final portion of the reading of Torah, but he's also going to act as an agent. What does that mean? Well, we are all commanded to read from Torah. But as you're going to see in a little bit, we're going to have everybody, if you want to, come up and see the Torah up close and personal. You thought the Hebrew in the prayer books was hard to read with all the vowels. There's no vowels in here. There's no punctuation in the Torah scroll. So everyone may not be able to read from Torah, but we're still asked to fulfill the commandment. So how do we fulfill it? By being able to say the blessing for reading of Torah and ask somebody who's capable of reading Torah to act as our agent to help us fulfill that mitzvah. So you're going to notice a couple of times where we're going to have Adam standing here reading from Torah, but we're not going to call him up by his Hebrew name because at that point he's not obligated yet. You're just acting as this agent, helping everybody else around you fulfill that mitzvah, which is awesome. And then we'll call you up so you fulfill that mitzvah for the first time. The other piece of Adam being a teacher today is that he has been studying this Torah portion of Ki Tisa. He's been wrestling with it. He's been tearing it apart. He has been asking, what does this have to do with my life today? 3,000 years of Jewish text. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of years. The question is, what does it mean for us in this year, 2018? Adam gets to teach us that. Adam gets to give us his perspective on it and allow us to then walk forward and have something that we get to carry with us. So, as we get ready to read Torah, as we get ready to carry Torah with us through the congregation, we turn in our prayer books now to begin this wonderful section of our service to page 362. 362, as we begin this journey, this study, this exciting moment with Torah.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol amim, umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'hador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai himloch le'olam. Adonai oz lamo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom.
Throughout our Torah service, we will have different family members and friends who are going to be participating in our service. And so at this time, it is my honor to first be able to acknowledge, I'm going to let you sit right there still, Chase. Chase Northcutt is going to be holding on to the Torah cover and the binder for us later on. But for passing Torah through the generation, from one generation to the next, Howie, if you will come and stand here in the front along with Mary and Jose, and finally Adam, if you'll all go ahead and take your places right here in front of the bima. And I'd like to invite forward for opening up our ark doors, Mark Ely and Jose Gonzalez Sr. to come on forward and join us here and open our ark doors for us. And as they do so, we invite everyone to please rise as we continue in the middle of page 364. Come on up here.
Avaharachamim Heitiva vitzonecha
Et Zion
Tivnei chomot ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך רם ונישא, אדון עולמים.
So we turn to page 364.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it. Page 366.
Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael bikedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai Iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachtav.
So if the two of you will stay right there as we bring Torah down to each of you. So we pass this wonderful gift given to us at Sinai and passed on from generation to generation, so that each of us may become teachers, but also always remain students of Torah. And so Howie, you have held this Torah in your arms for generations, for being able to hold your parents in your arms, your grandparents, and past generations here in this moment. And now, here it is that we pass it on to the next generation, to Jose. You also a student and a teacher of Torah, embracing all of its gifts, and petting it gently, there you go. And Mary, for you, as the mother of our bar mitzvah, being here and inspiring us and inspiring your son. As today, Jose, Mary, you give this wonderful gift to your son, to Adam. And Adam, this is yours. It belongs to you. Always hold on to it. Always cherish it, just as your grandfather has, as your parents have, generations past have, and just as you will give it to the future generations as well. May its weight always keep you rooted in your tradition, but also may it lift you up, always inspiring you, as we walk now in the light of Torah.
Lecha Adonai hagidula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Lecha Adonai הממלכה והמתנשא לכל ראש. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, השלושה דברים העולם עומד. שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
So, before you are seated, if anybody would like to come up and see the Torah scroll up close and personal, come on up. Don't be shy. Obviously, you haven't done this in a while, I know. So come up, all of his friends, come on up. Gather round. All right. They know that we're going to take their spots. Come closer. I don't bite often, maybe. Huh? Hi, guys. Come on closer. Gather round. Yay. Perfect. I'm going to scroll it over this way real quick. There we go. All right. Beautiful. All right. Let's go like right here. Perfect. Why don't you hold on to that? Perfect. Come here. Come closer. Come here. Hold on to this for me so it doesn't roll. It will, there. Oh, the brave one has come forward. All right. There you go. All right. So you can even come stand in the front over here too. It's okay. They're sitting. They're good. So if you want to come, yeah, there you go. Come over to the front. Stand in front of the flower. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Don't worry. We'll make sure you guys come over too. All right. In just a minute. So the Torah is handwritten. Okay. You cannot take a Torah and put it through a printer. It doesn't work that way. It has to be handwritten by a sofer, by a scribe, who uses a quill. Now, as you know, as you're seeing, it's a scroll. And therefore, with a scroll, it needs to be bound together because otherwise it's really unwieldy. All of our B'nai Mitzvah students, when we go on a retreat in the fall of their 7th grade year, they make what's called a wimple, a Torah binder, that represents things that they're really interested in, that represents them, so Torah is kind of bound with a little bit of them. This is Adam's Torah binder. Yay! Can you tell what he likes? There you go. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's pretty good. All right. So, we got conflict of... All right. So, a scribe will sit down with a quill, with a feather, and he'll write out a Torah scroll. Now, first he has to write it on parchment. Parchment comes from a kosher animal. Kosher animal has... Very good. Split hooves and shoes are cut. Come on, guys. How many times have you been doing this? That lot. Split hooves and shoes it's cut, which means like a cow, sheep, goat. Those are kosher animals. Pig is not a kosher animal. It has split hooves, but it does not chew its cud. That's what makes a pig not kosher. So more than likely, this probably came from a cow. And it's kind of cool. You can see on the back of the parchment some of the coloration of the animal. Then the ink is made from all natural ingredients as well. Different berries, different tree saps, things like that. It's boiled, it's cooled, it's boiled, it's cooled. Takes about a year process to make ink because you want to make it indelible. You want to make sure that it's permanent. And so that way it will last for a very long time. As I mentioned, the Czech scroll that we have is over 300 years old. And it's still very clear in how to read it. Now, we're very careful that, I'm going to grab this yod right here. We're very careful that when we're reading from Torah, there's a lot of letters. As you guys will see in a little bit when you come closer, there's a lot of lines, a lot of letters. In order to keep your spot, it's good to kind of like follow along with your finger. Well, the oils in our fingers, when mixed with the ink, will then break down the ink. But I want it to last for a long time. So in order to keep my place, I use this thing. All right, what does that look like? Yeah, a finger, a hand. All right, the Hebrew word for hand is yad. Hence, this is called a yad, and it means hand. Here, I'll pass it back this way. You guys can look at it, get it back to me eventually. There you are, because I'll need my yad so we can follow along. But that's how we follow along when we're reading. Now, the scribe also has great handwriting, but how do they keep everything straight? They keep it straight because they etch lines into the parchment very, very carefully. So there's the straight lines, and also to make sure that's justified, for those of us who remember, justified columns and so forth, all right, even on both sides. And they have these lines on there to be able to follow along with. You are my brave one. Come close. Don't worry, you don't have to read anything, you just have to look at something really cool. All right, so do you see the lines here, how they're etched into the, do you see that? Yeah? Okay, here, let's look at the bottom one right here. You ready? See right here? Okay, the letters. Here's a line, here's a line. Are the letters sitting on the line, or are they hanging on the line? Yeah, they're hanging. Woohoo! Excellent. She gets an extra portion of dessert today, Mary. Okay, so, so they're hanging from the line. There's this great midrash, this great story that talks about how the line represents the division between heaven and earth. That idea that, and we're the people, we're the letters, and that we are always seeking toward greater holiness, toward reaching up toward God. So therefore, we're the people, we're right there, we're at that line between heaven and earth, and kind of seeking to go a little bit higher, a little bit taller, a little bit closer to God. So what happens if a scribe makes a mistake as they are writing their Torah scroll?
Start over.
There you go. Well, they try to scrape off, okay? So they're going to try to scrape off the letter because, by the way, the ink and the parchment, the ink does not sink into the parchment. Like when we write on paper with ink, it'll sink into the paper. In this case, the ink will actually sit on top of the parchment. So the scribe will try to scrape off the letter and then correct it. But if he's unable to correct it and he gets to the end of that page there, he's going to have to start all over again. So you want to be very careful, and you go carefully copy letter for letter. Yeah, it's scary, huh? Absolutely. So now the interesting thing is with us, with our Torah scrolls, we've discovered that whole thing of the ink and the parchment after we had our fire 4 years ago. The high heat that was in this room and it took out all the moisture, literally the scribe was able to flick whole letters off of the parchment. And so then he had to repair our Torah scroll by rewriting some of those letters. So this Torah scroll has been fully repaired from that fire. The flames, thank God, were not in this room, but those of you who were here when Josh became bar mitzvah, the room might look a little bit different than when you were here 8 years ago. So, and finally, the last ingredient in the ink is
Honey.
And why is that, Jack?
Because Torah is supposed to be sweet.
Yay! There you go. I love them. All right. So Torah is supposed to be sweet on our lips. And so that's what we always try to teach one another. It should be sweet, and we should always learn and grow from it. Any questions? Any answers? You look like you have one.
Nope.
No. She's like, no, you don't. All right. So we're going to let those of you who are over here, you can walk by over here and come check it out too. Thank you guys very much. You may go have a seat. If you guys who are over in the back, you want to come closer, come on over. Come on over. Who had my yad, by the way? Where'd the yad go? The other one. Oh, there it is. Yes, you go sit down with that. That'll be awesome. Here you go, guys. So if you want to see, it's okay. You can come closer. There you go. Perfect. Aw, yay. All right. So, there you go. See, we're here. All right. So, as we mentioned earlier, we have a lot of friends and family who are participating in our reading of Torah and blessing Torah. And Adam is going to be acting as our agent, our reader of Torah for these first two Torah portions. So Adam, thank you. We're going to leave you right here. But for our first Aliyah, Cantor.
Chanting our blessing, Nancy Blank, Hannah Zohara, Nancy Boyd, Reitza Bat Pesach Verudia, and Jody Margolis, Sarah Rivka Bat Feivel Vilea. Reading the English translation will also be Nancy Blank. Ta'amodna l'aliyah harishona.
Here we go. So who's doing my blessings? Come on over here. Okay, so take your seat. Okay, take those. And what you're gonna do, so you're gonna kiss on the first word. So it's showing honor to it. Beautiful. We're gonna close it because the blessing's not in the Torah there. And here you go.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Vayar ha'am ki voshesh Moshe laredet min hahar vayikahel ha'am al aharon vayomeru elav kum Aselanu Elohim Asher Yelchu Lefanenu Ki Ze Moshe Ha'ish Asher He'elanu Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lo Yadanu Mehaya lo Vayomer Alehem Aharon Parku Nizme Hazahav Asher Be'ozne Neshechem Benehem Uvnotechem Vehaviu Elai Vayitparku Kol Ha'am Et Nizme Hazahav Asher Be'oznehem Veyaviu El Aharon Vayikach miyadam Vayatzar oto bacheret Vayaasehu egel masecha Vayomeru ele Elohecha Yisrael Asher He'elucha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Vayar Aharon Vayiven Mizbeach Lefanav Vayikra Aharon Vayomar Chag Ladonai Machar Vayashkimu mimachorat Vaya'alu olot Vayagishu shelamim Vayeshev ha'am lechol v'shato Vayakumu litzasahek.
When the people saw that Moses delayed in coming down from the mount, they gathered themselves together against Aaron and said to him, "Get up and make us a god who shall go before us. And as for this Moses, the man who brought us out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what became of him." And Aaron said to them, "Take off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people took off the golden rings from their ears and brought them to Aaron. Then he took them and cast a mold and made it into a molten calf. And they said, "This is your God, O Israel, who brought you out of the land of Egypt." And when Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it. And Aaron announced, "Tomorrow is a feast, Adonai." They rose up early on the next day and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to dance.
Now we're going to take your seat once again. And you're going to touch it to your last word. Mitzvah. There you go. Beautiful. And the blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
Can we give him a hug?
Oh, please, absolutely.
For our second aliyah, chanting the blessing, Matthew Griffin, Matityahu ben Natan v'Nachoma, Lori Griffin, Basha Malka, bat Herschel Vegita, Megan Griffin, Gavriela Ze'eva, bat Matityahu v'Basha Malka, and Jacob Griffin, Yaakov Aharon ben Matityahu v'Basha Malka. Reading the English will also be Lori Griffin. Ya'amdu l'aliyah hashenit.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'na'atan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lech reid ki shechet amecha asher he'eleta me'eretz Mitzrayim saru maher min haderech asher tzivitim asu lahem egel masecha vayis tacharu lo vayis bechu lo vayomeru ele Elohecha Yisrael asher he'elucha me'eretz Mitzrayim. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ra'iti et ha'am hazeh vehine am keshe oref hu.
And Adonai said to Moses, "Go down, for your people, whom you brought out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have been quick to turn aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molten calf, and worshipped it, and sacrificed to it, saying, 'This is your God, O Israel, who has brought you out of the land of Egypt.' And Adonai said to Moses, 'I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.'"
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, V'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
For our third Aliyah, chanting the blessing, Sandy Sternshine, Avshalom Michael ben David, Verut Miriam, and Jen Sternshine, Yafia Miriam, but Avraham Visara. Reading from Torah will be Josh Gonzalez, Yehoshua Alexander ben Yosef Miriam, and reading the English translation, Jen Sternshine.
Baruch hu et Adonai havarach.
Baruch Adonai havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher hakarbanu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai. Noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayifen va'ered Moshe min ha'ar u'shnei luhot ha'edut be'yado luhot ketuvim mishnei Evrehem mizeh u'mizeh hem ketuvim ve'haluhot ma'aseh Elohim hema ve'hamichtav Michtav Elohim uhu Harut al haluchot Ve'yishema Yehoshua et kol ha'am bereo Vayomer el Moshe kol milchama b'machane Vayomer ein kol anot gevurah Ve'en kol anot halusha, kol anot anohi shomea, vayehi ka'asher karav al hamachane, vayar et ha'egel kolot vayechar Vayihar Moshe, Vayishalech miyadav et haluchot, Vayishaber otam tachat hahar.
Thereupon Moses turned and went down from the mountain, bearing the 2 tablets of the pact, tablets inscribed on both their sides. On the one side and on the other side they were written. The tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God, engraved upon the tablets. When Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, "There is a cry of war in the camp." And he answered, "It is not the sound of shouts of triumph, nor is it the sound of those who cry in defeat. No, it is the sound of singing that I hear." As soon as Moses came near to the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, he became enraged and threw the tablets from his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain.
Touch it again.
Yep.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Mary, Jose, come on up. You want to see this, definitely. Come and stand in this wonderful place. Come on, right here. There you go. Come on, Mary, right over here. All right.
Ya'amud habachur habar mitzvah Adam ben Yosef u'Miriam la'aliyah haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayechal Moshe Midaber Itam Vayitain Al Panav Masveh Uvevo Moshe Lifnei Adonai Ledaber Ito Yasir Et Hamasveh Ad Seito Veyatsa Vediber El Bnei Yisrael Et Asher Yetzuveh Vera'u Bnei Yisrael Et Penei Moshe Ki Karan or Penei Moshe Veheshiv Moshe et Hamasveh al Panav Ad Bo'o Ledaber Ito. And when Moses had finished speaking with them, he put a veil over his face. Whenever Moses went in before Adonai to speak with God, he would leave the veil off until he came out. And when he came out and told the Israelites what he had been commanded, the Israelites would see how radiant the skin of Moses' face was. Moses would then put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak with God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayeh olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Yeah, to him. You're welcome. Mom and Dad, you may go ahead and return over to your seat. And Adam, if you want to go over there and have a seat at the piano in a moment. First, with our Torah scroll out before us, we offer up a Mishaberach, a prayer of healing for all of those who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. So I invite you to think about those within your family and within your community, and with your friends of any faith, any tradition, who are in need of healing as we offer this blessing. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all of those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their life, their health to be restored, and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. As we also offer up prayers for our country and also prayers for Israel, first we turn in our prayer books to page 376. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. As we offer a prayer for the state of Israel, and following the prayer, we'll invite you all to rise as we'll join together, led by Adam in the singing of Hatikvah, page 377. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And let us say, Amen, as we rise now, as Adam leads us in Hatikvah. Yashakoach. We remain standing now as I invite forward to hold our Torah scroll Lisa Spitzer Ely, along with Chase, if you'll come up with the Torah covered there, as we give honor to the Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאללה לה לה יאללה לה לה יאללה לה לה יאללה לה לה. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Hang on one second. We'll wait till everybody's seated. Microphones. All right, now you can go.
The Haftarah for Parashat Ki Tisa is 1 Kings chapter 18, verses 5 through 16. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hane'marim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Vayomer Achav el Obadiahu lech ba'aretz el kol mayanei hamayim ve'el konhan chilim ulai nimsa hasir unchaye sus vafered velo nachrit mechal bechema vayachaleku lahem et haaretz la'avor ba achav halach bederech echad levado ve'ovad yahu halach bederech echad levado vayehi ovad yahu baderech ehine Eliyahu mikrato vayikarehu vayipol al panav vayomer hatazeh Adoni Eliyahu. And Ahab had said to Obadiah, "Go through the land to all the springs of water, into all the wadis. Perhaps we shall find some grass to keep horses and mules alive, so that we are not left without beasts." They divide the country between them to explore it, Ahab going alone in one direction, and Obadiah going alone in another direction. Obadiah was on the road when Elijah suddenly confronted him. Obadiah recognized him and flung himself on his face, saying, "Is that you, my lord Elijah?" "Yes, it is," he answered. "Go tell your lord, Elijah is here." But he said, "What wrong have I done, that you should hand your servant over to Ahab to be killed? As Adonai your God lives, there is no nation or kingdom to which my lord has not sent to look for you." And when they said, "He is not here," he made that kingdom or nation swear that you could not be found. And now you say, "Go tell your lord, Elijah is here." When I leave you, the spirit of Adonai will carry you off, and I don't know where. And when I come and tell Ahab, and he does not find you, he will kill me. Yet your servant has revered Adonai from my mouth. My lord has surely been told what I did when Jezebel was killing the prophets of Adonai, how I hid 100 of the prophets of Adonai, 50 men to a cave, and provided them with food and drink. And now you say, "Go tell your lord, Elijah is here." Why? He will kill me. Elijah replied, "As Adonai of hosts lives, whom I serve, I will appear before him this very day." Obadiah went to find Ahab and informed him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol ha'olamim sadik bechol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'osei ha'medaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvi'im ve'al yom ha'shabat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol. Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach uvarhim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Yasher koach. Breathe. No, a little bit more. Ready? There you go. So now we return our Torah to the Ark. And so, Lisa, thank you so very much. I'm going to take this from you right here. And we invite everyone to please rise. We turn to page 374. Will you come join us at the Ark?
Hodohu al-eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren lehamo tehila lechol chasidav libnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Eitz chayim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomchea meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh chadesh yameinu chadesh yameinu kekedem.
It's under here. It's right there. There you go. Now, what did Mom remind you of?
Basketball is the greatest sport ever. But there's a time that I didn't feel this way. In 5th grade, my coach, Coach Drew, was really hard on me. And to be honest, I didn't like him as a coach at first. He yelled and yelled at me during practices and games. I felt like he was just being mean to me for no reason. He didn't yell at anyone else like that. I talked to my parents about it, and they just said, just give Coach Drew a chance because he wouldn't yell at you if he didn't want to help you. That was hard for me to understand, but I gave it a shot. I started listening to what he was saying and fixing the mistakes I was making. I started focusing on my game and the help that he was giving me. And I was getting better, a lot better. Lots of his yelling turned into compliments, and I was playing better than ever. If I hadn't given him a second chance, I wouldn't have learned all those things he taught me about the game, and I would have probably not done as well either. This week's Torah portion, Ki Tisa, takes place after the Israelites escaped Egypt, where they were slaves for more than 400 years. They are now at the base of Mount Sinai. First, Moses collects a half shekel from each Israelite and also takes a census of the community. He is then instructed by God to make a water basin and prepare anointing oil and incense for the priests. Bezalel and Aholiab were assigned to construct objects for the priests in the tabernacle. The Israelites are ordered to keep Shabat as a sign of their promise to God. This is the message Moses leaves them before heading up to the mountain. In the mountain, Moses is then given the 2 tablets containing God's commandments. At this point, Moses was gone for 40 days. While Moses is gone, the Israelites asked their leader, Aaron, to build a golden calf as a way to worship something, much like the Egyptians did for all those years in captivity. God did not want them to do this. At the top of Mount Sinai, Moses tries to convince God not to destroy the Israelites and pleads for the people. Moses saves them from God's anger. When he leaves the mountain and sees the Israelites worshiping the idol they built, he becomes angry and shatters the tablets, destroys the golden calf, and punishes those who had not shown loyalty to God. With the tablets destroyed, Moses again heads up the mountain for another 40 days so he can write a new set of tablets. Moses comes down from Mount Sinai with the 2 new tablets, and his face is radiant because he spoke directly with God. Moses pleads with God that the Israelites deserve a second chance. They lived under Egyptian slavery for so many years and observed the Egyptians worshiping idols. They were searching for a way to find comfort at a time when they thought God and Moses left them in the wilderness. I feel people deserve a second chance, especially those who were held against the world for so many years. Forgiveness is an important part of relationships, and ignoring this part of life may keep us from learning of the best parts a person has to offer. Giving people a second chance is not easy. At first, God is very angry with the Israelites for worshiping something they shouldn't have worshipped, and God wants to punish them. Moses reminds God of who they are. Moses says, "Let not your anger, O Lord, blaze forth against your people, whom you delivered from the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand." Moses feels that the Israelites deserve a second chance, even though they did something wrong. He defends his people, trying to tell God not to punish them because they were slaves for so long and were forced to follow the ways of the Egyptians. Just as Moses thinks the Israelites deserve a second chance and should be forgiven for what they did, we can see this today in our own lives. When you have been hurt or disappointed by someone you care about, it's hard to imagine giving that person another chance. But forgiveness is an important part to help build relationships. We can't give up on people. What if I had not given Coach Drew a second chance? I would have missed out on all the knowledge and experience he wanted to share with me to help me be the best basketball player ever. Just because he yelled at me doesn't mean he didn't care. It was just his style of coaching. I know that people want to give me the benefit of the doubt because I'm not perfect and I make lots of mistakes. Sometimes I can be rude to my parents or perhaps not be a good listener to my friends. But they always forgive me. I appreciate that, and I hope I can be that person to them as well. Getting a second chance does not always have to be an act of forgiveness. There are many times in life when we need a second chance, especially those times when there's a tragedy or a great challenge. For my Mitzvah project, I'm helping the people of Puerto Rico. A huge hurricane called Maria hit island very hard, and many people suffered. In fact, thousands are still suffering today. Many have no running water, no electricity, no heat, and a limited food supply. Many are desperate and have actually left the island for the U.S. mainland. This community deserves a second chance, a chance to rebuild their lives and homes. For the past few months, I have helped Puerto Ricans by collecting donations that will help rebuild the damaged temple in San Juan, also named Temple Beth Sholom, and help the Puerto Rican people so they can buy supplies they need so they won't have to suffer anymore. The outcome of this will be very good for Puerto Rico because they'll have everything they need to live a good life, and they'll be really grateful and happy. Becoming a bar mitzvah doesn't necessarily mean that I'm becoming a man or that I'm more mature basically overnight. What it does mean to me is that I'm becoming more involved in the Jewish community and becoming more aware of the needs of people that are less fortunate. It also means that I'm becoming more of an active Jew, including fully embracing our Jewish customs and traditions. For example, on Yom Kippur this year, I'm going to try to fast for the first time ever. It'll be hard to do, but I know it's time for me to step it up. I'm proud to be a Jew. It's one of the most important things in my life. I do Jewish by being present at services, religious school, and other events. I do Jewish by going to camp where we all have Judaism in common. Throughout the days of camp, we are praying, singing, and celebrating our Jewishness. For example, we begin and conclude each day with prayers and songs. I miss this when I'm not at camp. Another part of camp that makes it so special is Shabat, the Sabbath. I wish we could do Shabbat every week the way we do at camp. Together, we all pray at the chapel, followed by a special dinner, and concluded with dancing and singing all night long. It is the best night of camp ever. Shabbat is definitely how we do Jewish at camp. This summer, I'm going to Israel, which will help to reinforce my love for Judaism. I am so proud and can't wait to continue on this journey. I would like to take this time to thank all the people who have helped me through the process of becoming a bar mitzvah. First of all, I'd like to thank Rabbi Cohen and Cantor Weinwald for their patience in teaching me Hebrew and how to be a good Jew. Secondly, I'd like to thank all my Hebrew tutors who have taught me how to read Hebrew and motivated and mentored me throughout the years. That helped me a lot. And of course, I can't forget to thank my wonderful parents who have been pushing me and supporting me since day one. And to my brother, Josh, who always keeps me up when I'm down. He has always been there for me and always includes me in everything, even hanging out with his friends. I'm so lucky to have such an amazing big brother. And lastly, thank you to all my friends and family for sharing and being here with me on this special day. A special thank you to those who came today from far away. I love you all. In the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, forgiveness is defined as to cease to feel resentment against an offender. Forgiveness leads to growth, both internally and externally. Internal growth prepares a person to help others, attend to, and forgive others. Proof of this was my perception of Coach Drew initially, and then how it changed for the better. This made our relationship as player-coach a much better one. We both benefited from it. The same can be said about God and his choice to listen to Moses and not punish the Israelites when they made the golden calf. This created a stronger bond between God and Moses. I am thankful for the opportunity to prepare this speech since it has taught me the value of giving people a second chance, especially since it can enhance my experience as well as theirs. Thank you.
You look good. Nice job. All right. Adam. Wow, I truly cannot believe that this day is here. Every time I come home from school, you seem to have just grown exponentially. It's crazy. You're maturing so quickly. People have started to say that you're starting to be a lot like me, which should be just thrilling news for you. But seriously, I remember the day you were born so clearly and the anticipation and excitement I felt to go through the rest of my life with a little brother. And it was without a doubt better than anything I could have hoped for. Over the past 12, almost 13 years now, we have disagreed on some things, fought here and there, and even gotten each other into trouble on a few occasions. Anyone with a little sibling, or anyone with a sibling in general, can tell you that's part of the deal. I don't think there's a person on this planet that can push my buttons as easily as this man right here. Which is admirable because he knows very well the consequences of doing so. However, I cherish all our conflicts just as much as our commonalities. Our shared passion for sports, music, Judaism, school has allowed us to bond, yes, yet I believe we have become the best of friends and created the best memories through our disagreements, moments that define the brotherly love that we have. Mom and Pops are constantly reminding me of how much you look up to me as a big brother, but today I want to let you know something that I don't say enough and something that you may not know. I look up to you. I really do. As I've watched you grow over the years, I realize that you have so many qualities that I desire to emulate myself. The unwavering confidence that you carry in every single aspect of your life. For example, today, you had a little issue with the piano. You brushed that off like nothing. And that's something I could never, ever do. I want to incorporate that into my own life on a daily basis. You're not complacent when things are, going well. You're always looking for ways to improve and become a better person. When things aren't going your way, you push yourself to adjust and then rise above that adversity, like you said in your speech. All these years, I've looked to you as my role model, and you've never failed to inspire me. I only hope that I've done and can continue to do the same thing for you. I love you, and I'm so proud of you, man.
Okay, so now it's my turn. I'll try to do this without crying. So more than 8 years ago, your brother had his bar mitzvah right here. You were only 5 years old on that special day and had to stand on a step stool right there just to watch him read from Torah. You kind of stole the show with your cuteness, actually, that day. Today, you don't need a step stool. In fact, you're actually taller than me. Thank goodness for my heels. Vava, your grandma, would have one word to describe today: mashallah, which is a very good thing, Adam. I wish she was here to see you leading us in such a beautiful and meaning service. I know she's here, though. Watching you today is definitely a little nostalgic for me. I remember standing here in this very spot more than 37 years ago for my own bat mitzvah. And believe it or not, more than 55 years ago, Uncle Joe had his bar mitzvah right here too. That means you are the third generation of our family to read from Torah on this bima. I think that's pretty special. In your speech today, you discussed the importance of forgiveness and giving people a second chance. I remember when you were very young and Josh did something to tease you or upset you. Shocking, right? You insisted that he apologize. He did, but you felt it was not genuine and insincere. So you asked him to apologize again, but really mean it. And you gave him some coaching and some tips on how to do it. Of course, he was beyond annoyed, but he eventually did it per your guidelines, and all was good, and you did forgive him. Now, all these years later here, you are discussing how important forgiveness is in relationships. It's kind of ironic. I couldn't be more proud of you than I am today. You have worked so hard studying Hebrew for the past several years and preparing for today while working hard at school and basketball. And it really showed today. You did awesome. You are a true blessing to us, Adam. Your passion for life, your independence, and your sense of humor are a gift to the world, and I cannot wait to see what lies ahead. I love you to pieces.
Check. So make sure it's working. So Adam, AKA the spicy son. We've said this a lot, but we are so proud of you. You've done a great job here today, and we really admire how much you've grown as a person. It is remarkable to sit here and watch you work. It reinforces why we are here today. Today is about family, friends, and our community here at TBS. It's about traditions and values, and the passing of these traditions and values down through the ages. Your message today, to give people a second chance, resonates with every person in here. It makes me think about our talks about bullies and protecting those that may not be able to protect themselves. You and I often talk about how to best deal with someone whom you witness being bullied. I love your approach to this and can totally see you protecting the victim, but then also providing counsel to the perpetrator to change and understand the damage they cause in others. You have a good heart, son. As your dad, I want to share a few thoughts. And, today's a day you can't really escape any advice either. So I want you to consider these as you continue in your journey through life. Don't ever be afraid to be yourself. You will always be at your best when you are yourself. And this is true even when you make those weird noises that drive your mother crazy. Jacob, you know what he's talking about. There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, man.
Second, don't be afraid to take risks. Taking risks often will lead to your greatest successes. Number 3, continue standing up for others and for what's right. Always. Number 4, be proud of your Jewish heritage. Continue to make this a priority, as there are many rewards that will follow. And for my last thought, I want to share when it is that Mom and I think you are at your best. And no, it's not when you get awards from school or play well during a tournament. We are most proud when you show your character, when you help others, when you are there for your friends. Remember that all God really requires from you is your just actions. It's about mitzvah. It's about your deeds. It's about respect for and pride in your heritage. and living an ethical, balanced life with honor, integrity, and lots and lots and lots of laughter. We are so blessed to have you as our son. May you learn from those that came before you and from the example of those around you today. May you carry out your dreams as comfortably as you wear your talit. We love you.
Stay here. Yes, you guys may return over to your seat there. And so, Adam, today you become a bar mitzvah, not just with your family and your friends present, but also your congregation. And so I'd like to invite forward to make some presentations to you on behalf of our board of directors, Matthew Griffin, our sisterhood, Fran Sherman, our brotherhood, Steve Sherman. There's a relation there too, see, there you go. And also representing your friends and the youth group, Ari Sternshine and Stella Keisler.
Adam, I'm so proud of you and I think you did a great job. When I met you here at preschool, I instantly knew we were going to be great friends. You always know how to make me laugh. You are just overall one of the most amazing people I have ever met. Once again, you did a great job and I'm very proud of you.
Adam, I'm so extremely proud of you. We met about 10 years ago in this very place at the preschool. Ever since that day, we have been best friends. You've been such a great friend for the last 10 years, and I love how hard you worked for this very special day. All the hard work paid off. You did a great job, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being my best friend. Oh, and on behalf of the youth group, here's a $50.
Okay. Well, Adam, what an honor it is for me to be here representing sisterhood. Even more so, it's my pleasure because I've had the opportunity to watch you and your brother Josh grow up into the fine young men you have both become. And what a tribute to your parents for doing such a wonderful job. Your article in the Shavuot mentioned that you were interested in basketball, piano, which you showed us today, and all kinds of music, including Frank Sinatra. I can't even imagine where you got that from. Could it be from your grandpa Howie? Although I am the sisterhood representative today, if things had been different, your grandma Sandy could well have been standing here in my place. She unfortunately was taken from us way too soon, but she left a legacy that outshines any legacy that can be left by a parent or a grandparent. Your grandma was very community-oriented. She continues to receive credit till this day from some of our current sisterhood board members who remember her with much fondness for being so welcoming to them when they didn't even belong, and she invited them to join our sisterhood. This is the kind of legacy everyone should leave to their future generations, and hopefully you will honor her in that way. Your brother has already been doing that within our temple. And so, as representatives of sisterhood, it is my absolute great pleasure and honor to present you with a Kiddush cup on the day of your bar mitzvah. Mazel tov to you. And mazel tov to your family.
Well, Adam, I guess it's my turn. I'm here from the Brotherhood. You could guess the And I want to say, first of all, Mazel tov, a wonderful job. And as Fran had indicated, we've seen you grow up, and your brother, and you even go back before then. And I think we both feel we're part of the family, and you're part of our family. And I just want to, as I see you grow, and you got Josh as your role model to follow on, and of course Mom and Dad and Grandpa to give you all your guidance, more than you probably need. But anyway, I hope you're going to be doing well. And one thing I'd like to wish upon you is that in 3 years from now, we'll be doing this again as you're here for your confirmation. Because remember, this is just one step in your Jewish journey, and you have many more to go, and I hope you're going to look forward to those. And I was impressed with what you're doing on your mitzvah project, so we're going to help you with that. On behalf of Brotherhood, we have a tzedakah box for you, so you can start putting all your shekels in there as you start to help gather funds for Puerto Rico. And if anything else you need in life, I know you're going to be successful because you have the attitude to go forward. So again, mazel tov to you.
You see, my son is the other spicy child that matches the spicy child, so we have a deep relationship. So Adam, as a representative of the board, I'm here to present you a few gifts. The book you've been using that Rabbi presented earlier is a gift from the board. And along with that, a tree has been planted in Israel in your honor. And lastly, we're giving you a scholarship towards a trip to Israel, so not only you can water your tree, but feed your soul. However, because you have parents and friends that love you so much, as you mentioned in your speech, you will actually be in Israel this summer. Your brother will be interning in Israel at Beersheba, and Megan, my daughter, will be in Tel Aviv. And we're going to feed our soul along with you. And on Thursday, we water the trees. You know, Rabbi Salazar, who is the rabbi that's helping us write the Torah, says that there's 3 points in our lives where you have a direct line to God, where you actually have no expectations. When you're doing that mitzvah, God is listening to you. So the first one is your bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah. The second is your marriage. And the third is when you write in Torah. So please, if you have the opportunity, take the opportunity. We really want you to participate in this. And so the first time will be tomorrow and also Monday. And then again on May 15th and 16th, correct? So amazing opportunities. We've done it. It is a truly inspirational and amazing thing that you can do for yourself and your family. So later today, when you have a moment, and you won't, so at some point you should, say a little prayer for yourself. Not asking for a Bugatti Veyron, as your spicy friend would, but ask for something for your soul. Ask about the things that you spoke about so eloquently today. You know, as a friend, I wanted you to know that we all share in the pride and happiness your family feels today. In your speech, you spoke of forgiveness. Interesting. A famous French writer, historian, and philosopher once said, "We are all full of weakness and errors. Let us mutually pardon or forgive each other our follies or stupidity." It is the first law of nature. That was by Voltaire. You know, he died in 1778, and here you are 240 years later, also speaking to us about forgiveness. You read from the Torah portion this week called Ki Tisa. It also speaks of how Moses took a census. You mentioned that in your speech. You are now being counted as an adult in the Jewish tradition. It is an honor, and one you should take very seriously. Interestingly enough, Voltaire also wrote, "God gave us the gift of life. It is up to us to give ourselves the gift of living well." Live well, Adam, my prayer to you. Live a good life and keep this beautiful, loving, rich home, Temple Beth Sholom, yours. You are loved here. You are appreciated here. And you belong here. All the best.
So, Adam, you are going to have many opportunities for people to bless you. And I want to encourage everyone to take those moments today, during this wonderful special day, to offer you their blessings, but at this time it is my honor to invite your parents. So Mary and Jose, if you'll come join us at the Ark. Adam, if you'll come with me, and Cantor Reinwald, and we invite everyone to please rise. At the Ark. Oh, now they're warm. So here you stand before our Torah scrolls, underneath the Ner Tamid, the eternal light, always reminding us of God's presence. But Adam, we have always known that God's presence is always present with us, especially when we look into your eyes. I've known you your whole life. Here you are, standing in this wonderful sacred space, a sacred space that has been your family's sacred space for so many years, for decades. You stand in the same spot, here embracing and accepting Torah as a young adult. And as a young adult, you say, I count, I matter. You put in your half shekel today. Just as in our parasha of Ki Tisa, when the Israelites, each person was responsible for putting in a half shekel to be counted amongst the people, you now put that in. You are counted. But Adam, we've been counting on you since the day you were born. We've been looking to you to inspire us. We've been looking to you not only to learn, but to teach, and that is exactly what you've done. You also have taken on the responsibility as a young man in this congregation, just as when sometimes, God turns to us and says, okay, you need to take the responsibility. It's yours. I give you this Torah, I give you the mitzvot, but now what are you going to do with it? How are you going to embrace it? How are you going to live by it? I challenge you, I challenge your classmates each and every week. How do you do Jewish? And Adam, you do Jewish in so many ways. Not just when you are in this space, but I see you do Jewish in every space, because it is who you are. It's a part of your very fabric of your foundation and each and every ounce of your soul and your heart. So please, continue to do that. Continue to be the blessing that you are. Continue to always be a student of Torah. But most important of all, continue to be our teacher of Torah as well. As we get to bless you now with words from generation to generation, words that have been spoken on this bima for all of your family and for future generations as well, with words of Torah. So put your hands on him too.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine on you, in you, and through you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Adam, may you always feel God's presence around you. May God continue to give you a life that is filled with good health, with happiness, and most important of all, a life that is filled with shalom, with peace. Kein yehi ratzon, may this be our blessing and God's blessing, and let us say, Amen. As we remain standing and we turn once again in our prayer books for Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר Haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad.
We remain standing as our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, yet truly their memories are a blessing. We remember those who have recently departed from our congregational family. We remember Frida Friedman, Shirley Dudman, and Michael Hillman. We also remember those whose yard sites we recall on this Shabbat and during this coming week. Mario Abramovitz, Stanley Barnett, Joshua Benvenista, Faye Bergman, Alberto Cohen, Alan Ellis, Alan Feinberg, Josephat Francis, Leela Samuel Friedman, Joni Gorell, Jeanette Goldberg, Minette Green, Sam Hurwitz, Henry Jonas, Donna Jones, Theda Levine, Troy Lo Cicero, Rosalind Marlin, David Michelson, Marvin Oberndorfer, Dan Peterson, Sadie Petty, Nathaniel Rudowski, Grace Samuels, Milton Schaefer, Luta Shanfield, Henry Eli Silk, Minnie Stahl, Frida Stewart, Ethel Toback Towers, Pearl Weinberg, and Frank Weiner. If there is anyone here who's in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing a yard site of a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you as I face in your direction, please share their names with us. For all of them and for all those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem for the sanctification of God's holy name, and for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we turn to page 598, Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divra Chirtei v'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayetecho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'elam Elomei Omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudesha B'richu, Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram b'yalma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom.
Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael
V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us say together, Amen. And just a moment, we'll have our closing song, and then we're going to join together in the living room off to your left for a kiddush and a motzi in honor of Adam becoming a bar mitzvah. There are little cups of grape juice. Go ahead and take one, but don't drink from it yet. And then we'll join together for the blessing. Josh, come on up. Come join us. We invite you to put your arms around somebody next to you. If you don't know who they are, say hello. Introduce yourselves. We join together. Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu Yehi Meru.
Shabbat Shalom.